Sup, all? Hope all are doing well. I am Hummy Balls, and today we're going to be talking about mining. This is going to be my intro to mining for you. Hopefully, this will help you get your foot in the door and be confident when you go out here to try and mine starting into the universe. Now, behind me is the Prospector. This is one of my favorite mining ships. It is your medium to light mining ship. You can only do up to a certain amount. Depending on how you look at it, it's normally either where we'll show about a 15K mass to 18K mass if you go by mass. If you go by SCU size, it normally can go 15 to 25. Now, once we get inside here, I'm going to describe the mining head, what everything shows over to the side so that you can make a good decision on which mining head you want to use. This Prospector is rentable in case you're just getting very started. Now, the rentable variant is not the strongest, has the weakest head available on it. So for that one, I would stick to moon mining and just trying to find some of the smaller rocks that you see on there. Just build up enough to where you can go out and get yourself one of these. This Prospector is actually a relatively cheap ship, and the mining heads themselves don't cost more than 50,000 AUEC. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll get inside the ship and explain exactly what's going on with this mining head. All right. Now, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at the mining laser power required. As you see, 1 pip, so you don't really have to worry too much about how much power it's going to consume from your power plant. Now, when it comes to the mining lasers, there's only a couple of things that really matter. The fracture power, this one is set to 100%, gets full laser power, no reduction, no bonus. I can live with that. Now, the most important aspect of it, in my opinion, is the resistance. As you will see here, the resistance is showing is 55. Now, that means that at least 45% of the laser power should go directly into the rock. This is the most amount of resistance modification that you can find on a default head. It does have a higher than average instability, which means when the wave of the power goes into the rock, it could surge more with this head versus other heads. And of course, as you see, the window size is a little bit larger, gives you a little bit of a cushion so that you don't accidentally hit the overcharge, which in most instances, when it overcharges or explodes, it will take out the highest quality first. So what you're looking for is probably going to blow up. With the method I'm going to show you, it gives you the lowest chance to actually overcharge and gives you the greatest amount of control. So, that being said, we're going to exit out of here. I am currently at Arc L1 Wide Forest Station. This is my favorite refinery to stay at. It's real close to its capital location in case I need to go to a TDD to do sales, which also is a one-hop transit from the station to get to where anything you need to buy from that capital station. Now, as we get out here, we're going to show how easy it is to find some rocks just outside of Arc L1. Like I said, this is my favorite station just because of the convenience of it. When we exit the hangar, I personally like to aim towards the sun. That way, I can make sure to use that as a nice orientation, and I don't have to worry about where I need to head. If I'm going on a return trip, just head away from the sun and I'm good to go. Now that we're outside, let's go ahead and switch over to scanning mode. Set that to the widest available, 90% currently, and we will ping. It does do some advantage if you rotate to highlight more areas. Now just go ahead and highlight one of these areas. Over to our left, as you see, a Corundum asteroid has already responded. That one's real close. This one that I was pointing at does not show what it is by default. You can tighten the beam, and it will show a better location for the asteroid. You can ping again, and once you get to a tight enough beam and you're aimed well enough at it, it will instant scan. There you go, that's tungsten. So we had a corundum that was 5.5 away. Let's go ahead and start heading to that, and I will see you when we get there. As you see, be careful not to lose your attention and accidentally plow into a rock. I have done that many times. I think I'll leave that in just for a little forewarning. Now as we get here, we'll go ahead and switch back over to our scan mode, ping, and this should show us the quality. Well, it did not ping the small one, so let's go ahead and ping again. Alright, shows a scan. Let's see what's going on here. Now for this, I'm just using it as an example. I don't care what the quality of it is. I'm just showing you how to do it. And 665, so not great, but we'll go ahead and use this one as an example. Alright, you will get inside, just inside max distance if you look to the left over here. This shows your distance meter. This is where the laser will make contact with the asteroid or rock. This is where it has its most efficient function. You will get the most break. Now you get closer and it will increase the amount of power. It's just hitting a wider area, so you may not get the bonuses from the quote sweet spot. Over on our right hand side, to explain this gauge, this is our laser power. You'll charge, this will fill up with green until you get into the optimum green break area. Try not to go over into the red overcharge. Doing this, the overcharge will fill up much faster than the actual break window will, and runs the risk of the rock exploding in your face, dealing damage, or worst case scenario, if it's a highly volatile thing, I have seen some ships actually blow up. So let's go ahead and get started doing this. We're at 100%. At this point, even though I'm a HOTAS user, I will switch to the keyboard for thruster controls for more minute control. And I'll just tap single at a time and just slowly edge forward until we start seeing some charge going into the charge area. There we go. Now that that's going in, I'll just go ahead and stop where I'm at, let it charge as it does. As you notice, there's the little wave of power going into the rock that I was describing. This rock is showing us with a 4% resistance. Some of the other heads could show that all the way up to 49% resistance, and you would be putting very little energy into it. The instability it shows on the rock will also affect how large of a jump you get when the wave of power goes into the rock. The areas that light up usually are sweet spots, weak points, that lower the resistance of the rock and allow more of the power to go in. So as you see, we got it inside the green. I adjusted the throttle down just slightly. We're trying to look for a 0 point where we can just set it there and just let it be. There we go, and that's how we break a rock. Now, as you see, I'm aimed at another sub-rock. Now to do these, we're going to want to do the same method, except invert what we want to do with the power. So we'll go ahead and turn it on out here at max range. As you see, I'm starting at the lowest power, and we're just going to slowly increase this until we see some charge start going into it. If we get all the way to 100%, do exactly like you did with the initial brake and just slowly start tapping forward. As you see, there's just a sliver of green right there. That's not quite moving fast enough for me, so I'm going to crank this on up. Just remember that it's at 87. All right, to speed things up, I'm going to move slightly closer and have this increase the rate at which it's going up. Each of these taps will mean that I will have to lower where I'm dropping it back down to once we get into the charge level. It was at 87, now it should be somewhere in the 65 area. That's just a guesstimate. I go with my gut. And as you see, my gut was not too awfully far off. 65 is almost at the stopping point. We'll just want to tap it down just slightly. Let's say 62. And the charge stops where it's at. There we go. Easy brake. Guaranteed not to overcharge if you do it that way. And you pay close attention to the rock. Now I'm just going to collect up a couple of these. Again, I do not care what they are. I am just grabbing them so that I have something to refine to show you the refinement process. Normally when trying to collect rocks, you would like to get to the optimum marker. This will allow you to lose the least amount of rocks that you can in the process. I'm a little bit further away. Well, that one's needs to break again. I'm a little bit further away on this one. Now doing this, there is a chance that some of those rocks could go flying off by me and not actually get sucked up by the vacuum of the ship. So we've got a little bit to refine. Let's go ahead and back to the station, and I will see you in the refinery. Alright, before we get to the refinery, you're going to have to store your ship. Now, I go ahead and store my ship right off the bat. There are some bugs in the system to where some people prefer to unlock their ports, grab their bags, pull them down, put them right back into position without actually setting it down, and then re-locking the ports before they drop it to try and keep some of the resources in there. There is a chance, I notice it about 1 in 8, that there is, you put it down and then the refinery just sees nothing in your bags. You come back to your ship and your bags are empty. From what I understand, that's something CIG is working on, and hopefully they'll get it fixed. Now on to the refinery, and I'll show you how to set up one of those process and completely empty out your bags. Alright, we are here at refinement processing. As you come in, just walk straight across to the kiosk. We'll go ahead and begin a work order. Select the ship that you are going to do the refinement from. You'll have a couple of options here. You can look through these, choose your own personal favorite. I, myself, don't mind the low speed. I prefer low cost, high yield. That's my real concern. Alright, here we're showing some 504. Let's go ahead and click on that and get a quote. 44 AUEC and just under 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and get that started, accept it. Here we go, and here is a previous refinement order. So to claim these, you'll go ahead and select this. Select the station so that you drop it into your local inventory. Go ahead, collect that up, and that'll be available to pull up in your elevators, in your hangar. Once you get done here, go ahead and walk directly on over to the ore sales, select your ship, and make sure to sell anything that you can sell here. Sometimes some things will not sell at certain locations, and those will just stick in your bags and take up extra space. So make sure to go ahead and empty this every time you go through to fully empty out your bags and be good to go for your next run. Alright, well that was the quick down and dirty, easy peasy variant, low fuss, low muss. Hopefully that'll get you in the door, and I hope to see you in the universe. Have a good day.